The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, May 22, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Katie Logan to give Ridge Forrester romantic advice. Plus, Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes get into another argument. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Brooke Logan's insistence in tomorrow's May 22 episode. Fans can expect Brooke to insist that her destiny is with Ridge. While Brooke did question it for a few minutes, expect her confrontation with Taylor to change things. Brooke often will debate about an issue, but then fiercely defend it when confronted. Of course, Taylor will bring up that Ridge is now with her, not Brooke. Fans can also expect Taylor and Brooke to throw around the "respect my relationship" phrase. Taylor Hayes feud. When Taylor confronts Brooke yet again, expect the fashion show shenanigans to be brought up. Taylor will reason that Brooke pulled off a desperate act in a very public way to a man who is already committed to someone else. However, Brooke will defend herself and insist that Ridge is her destiny. About Hope Logan, the bold and the beautiful spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Brooke and Taylor will also fight about Hope Logan. Fans know that in light of Liam Spencer's brain tumor, Steffy Forrester Finnegan honored his request. Not only did Steffy make things right with Hope, but also invited her to return to Forrester Creations. Taylor will wonder how long until Hope goes after another taken man or causes another takeover. However, Brooke will continue to stand up for her daughter, especially now that she's taking responsibility. Katie Logan's romantic advice over with Katie. She gives some romantic advice to Ridge. It is stated as solid advice, so that indicates it could change Ridge's mind. Does this mean that Brooke and Ridge are getting closer to reuniting? How will Steffy and Taylor handle it if Ridge suddenly jumped ship again? There should also be an update with Daphne Rose. Steffy knows how much the nose likes Carter Walton. Daphne is wondering what happened that suddenly changed Carter's mind, though. So how long until everyone learns about Liam's death sentence? Could Steffy's decision to bring Hope back to FC cause major drama with Daphne? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Thursday, May 22, 2025? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of May 26 through May 30 suggest a lot of drama and unexpected twists. For one thing, Liam Spencer now has a treatment option, but it comes with great risks. Meanwhile, can Hope Logan's reunion survive Daphne Rose? There is also Sheila Carter Sharp's secret, as well as Luna Nozawa's mission. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. Let's begin with Liam's brain tumor. At first, all the doctors said there was nothing they could do. However, fans just learned that Grace Buckingham suggested radiation and chemo. Grace said there were no guarantees, but it was an option. The only problem is that there is a good chance that Liam could end up bedridden and with organ failure. Right now, Liam doesn't know what decision to make. Liam wants more time, but doesn't want to spend it in a hospital. Despite Clifton saying he has no interest in redoing Eric Forrester's storyline, it sounds like it's going that way. Steffy Forrester Finnegan urged Liam to take the chance. Steffy could recruit Hope in her quest to get Liam to get the procedure. Maybe one of the women goes to Bill Spencer. At some point, Bill deserves to know about Liam's battle. Now that Hope has explained things to Carter Walton, they are back together as a couple. Hope is also back at Forrester Creations. While Steffy brought Hope back, Daphne is sticking around as well. That is just a recipe for disaster, as Daphne is determined to get rid of Hope. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for next week reveal that Daphne will have to think about the tie-in products for her line. It sounds like the soap is keeping Daphne around for a while. Since she lost out on Carter, could her next storyline be to get obsessed? Honestly, it already seems like Daphne can't stop thinking about Carter, which could lead to some interesting scenes in the near future. B&B week of May 26, 2025. There is also Katie Logan's advice to Ridge Forrester. While Ridge already made his decision, it sounds like Katie's words might have an impact. So Ridge and Brooke Logan could still have a chance at reuniting. There is also Luna's vow to have a relationship with John Finnegan. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp will find out Sheila's secret eventually. When that happens, can Sheila and Deacon's marriage be saved? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Taylor Hayes ended up getting Ridge Forrester back. It was only after two specific situations, though. One was Brooke Logan's alleged betrayal. The other was the brunette's broken heart syndrome. It's likely why Ridge is so hesitant to reunite with Brooke, despite his strong feelings. So, let's go over how this storyline could go. Broken heart syndrome, let's begin with when Taylor came back to Los Angeles. Taylor was told she was dying from heart failure. However, it was actually a condition called broken heart syndrome. Once Taylor got some treatment, both medically and emotionally, she healed. It was explained that Taylor stuffing down her broken heart all those years led to the condition. Talk about a guilt trip for Ridge. Of course, Ridge blamed himself for Taylor's symptoms. As a result, he wanted to do everything possible to fix his ex-wife. Brooke Logan's betrayal then, there was Brooke's alleged betrayal. Now, Brooke did want to do the right thing and help Ridge get the company back. However, Brooke had no idea how she was going to do that by taking the job. Brooke thought she could just convince Carter Walton and Hope Logan to do the right thing. In any case, Ridge considered Brooke taking the job at Forrester Creations to be a betrayal. Taylor Hayes' dreams come true. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Taylor has always wanted her life back with Ridge. Right now, Taylor still has Ridge, but she knows Brooke is still very much an issue. Taylor is close with Ridge, but at the same time, she's guarded. Taylor knows just how Ridge was looking at Brooke in that wedding dress at the fashion show. So while Taylor's dreams are coming true, she also knows deep inside that Ridge could go back to Brooke at any time. Looking at Ridge during recent episodes, he's really torn. It's clear Ridge cares very much for Taylor and doesn't want to hurt her. At the same time, Ridge's feelings and draw to Brooke is undeniable. It must be really hard for Ridge to know if he dumps Taylor again, she could actually die from broken heart syndrome. Faking medical relapse, Taylor loves Ridge so much, but also wants him far away from Brooke. What happens if Ridge can no longer deny his feelings for Brooke? We could see Taylor acting tough, but it would kill her inside. Taylor could also get desperate and pretend her broken heart syndrome has returned when it hasn't. Could that guilt lead to Taylor luring Ridge back? Would Steffi Forrester Finnegan approve of her mother's deception? The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that a lot of fans seem to agree that the writers of the show have missed the mark with Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan. That's because back in 2022, the two women decided to become temporary friends when they realized that Ridge Forrester simply wasn't worth fighting for. But for some reason or another, that storyline died pretty fast when both Brooke and Taylor decided that Ridge was the love of their lives. Or at least, they think he's worth the ongoing fight between them. But is he? Of course, B&B fans certainly did have a lot to say about this storyline on social media. Some have even commented with, "I will forever be pissed that this story got dropped. Why would they tease us like that?" Another B&B fan wrote, "I was all for Brooke and Taylor being a thing. Tired of them fighting over vanilla ice cream Ridge. I guess it's too much to ask the writers to vary from the tried and true formula that they use again and again and again." And then there was this comment as well. But to be fair, Krista had that impact on the entire cast, and I remember how people were shipping Taylor with almost everyone back then. Anyways, this was such a missed opportunity, and it could have gained a huge support from the bold community as many like myself, was on board with Brayler. Now, whether or not Taylor and Brooke actually strike up a friendship again in the future remains to be seen. Watch this space. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. Also, let us know what you think of this story by leaving us a line in our comments section below. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of May 26 suggest there will be some curveballs and twists. Fans can expect to make a decision about his risky treatment option. Meanwhile, Daphne Rose will be figuring out a way to get rid of Hope Logan. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. For starters, next week, fans can expect Liam to scramble over his new treatment option. In the beginning, Liam was told that there was no treatment and the tumor was inoperable. John Finnegan did say they weren't giving up. The good doctor said they couldn't get rid of the tumor, but they could find ways to extend the patient's life. However, things changed during the past week. Once Liam met with Grace Buckingham mentioned a treatment option, but it could severely impact his quality of life. Liam doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in a hospital bed. At the same time, Steffy Forrester Finnegan is pressuring Liam to go ahead and do it. So Liam will have some decisions to make. Over with Daphne, she will be furious over being rejected by Carter Walton. Now Daphne has learned that Hope was welcomed back to Forrester Creations. As everyone gushed over Hope's return, Daphne glared and offered negative comments. Daphne seems to be getting obsessed. I'm not sure if the obsession is with Carter, or if it's really about Hope. In either case, Daphne will be looking for revenge. Now that Hope has reconciled with Carter, Hope might focus on her fashion line. However, since Daphne is sticking around too, could there be some fashion wars? It will be interesting if Daphne goes too far. The nose might be Steffi's friend, but there is also a big secret to keep. So Steffi might tell Daphne to knock it off, but that could negatively impact their friendship. There is also Katie Logan, who gives some solid wisdom to Ridge Forrester. Ridge already chose Taylor Hayes, but could Katie encourage him to give Brooke Logan another chance? There is also Luna, who is determined to have a relationship with her Bayo dad, Finn. Meanwhile, how long until Deacon Sharp learns of Sheila Carter Sharp's deception? Secret eventually. Jennifer Gareis, who plays Donna Logan on The Bold and the Beautiful, was recently in France. She's been busy sharing some lovely photos of her European visit, and her most recent one caught the attention of her many fans. Jennifer loves traveling. She recently shared photos from her trips to various French locations, including Paris, Giverny, and Honfleur. Her adventures included visiting the Eiffel Tower, exploring Claude Monet's garden, and hiking the chalk cliffs of Étretat. In a May 18 Instagram post, the real-life Donna Logan raved about Honfleur, calling it one of the most painted towns in Europe. Even though travel can be tiring, she found the trip well worth it and understood why artists like Gustave Courbet, Eugen Boden, Claude Monet, and Johann Jonckand were inspired by the charming town, just 2 hours outside of Paris. Fans loved the post because she spent time there with her parents. She'd also written in her caption, "I still feel like it's morning when it's night and night when it's morning, but it was well worth it." This time last year, Jennifer skipped a trip to Paris because of her nomination for a Daytime Emmy. Her husband, Bobby Gassamy, went ahead and attended a wedding in Paris. Well, he felt that he should, as it was his cousin who tying the knot. So it looks like she's making up for that lost time. Fans love the photos that stream out of France. On the post about Honfleur, one of them wrote, "So special with your mom and dad." The actress on the CBS show was kind enough to reply, saying, "I know. Right, so special." Plus, she added 2 red hearts. Actress Emily O'Brien also responded, saying, "Honfleur is Normandy's best." Rouen is also very special, but the most special is Vieulles-les-Roses. Not far from Honfleur, I think you will fall in love XX. Interestingly, Jennifer Gareis said that they went there the following day. "I had to fly back to work, but it looked amazing." Others thought that the photos showed her cute and playful nature. All good things come to an end, but fans want more of her on the show. Actually, this year, she's been away so much that fans feared she had left. In March, fans decided enough was enough, and they wanted her back because she's an important character in the Forrester storyline. She did appear in the April 29 episode when fans saw her and Eric watching a fashion show. Donna Logan's actress left the show before. In 2018, after sporadic appearances, Jennifer Gareis returned to the CBS show on contract. For now, fans are just happy that she spent so much quality time with her mom and dad. Hopefully, more pictures of the French trip will arrive. Talk about your good news/bad news scenarios. In the May 20 episode of The Bold, and the beautiful Grace informed Liam that there might be an outside chance of saving him or, at very least, keeping him around longer. But since there's always a dang but, the doctor added that it may have a serious impact on your quality of life. What does that mean exactly? On one hand, it suggests that Liam will be faced with a challenging new obstacle to overcome, and Emmy winner Scott Clifton will get served up some meaty material into which he can sink his teeth. Feud explained that the combination of chemotherapy and radiation could leave the patient bedridden due to fatigue, nausea, organ and/or nerve damage. On the other hand, the twist implies that the Liam who emerges on the other side of the treatment may not be the Liam who enters into it. In a way, Bold and Beautiful has been preparing us for a remix of Liam for quite a while now. Ever since he broke up with Hope and was rejected by Steffi, he's been busying himself soul-searching. By the time he was struck down by that pesky tumor, he'd realized that, come to think of it, he wasn't the kind of guy that he'd ever want to see dating his daughters, Kelly and Beth. He wouldn't wish a waffler like himself on anybody. Despite the potential miracle at hand, Liam wasn't immediately sold on the idea of undergoing such harsh treatment. "At first I had no choice, and now I have a choice, but it's basically an impossible one," he lamented. "Yeah, sure, I give myself more time at the cost of we don't even know what. How am I supposed to make a decision based on this?" Adding to the difficulty of his dilemma is the experience that he shared with his late mother, after whom Kelly was named. "All I can think about right now is my mom and how much she suffered," he said. "I mean, the cancer treatments, laying in that bed, she was like a skeleton. She was so frail. She was a shell of what she was before. That woman at the end was not my mom," he added. "And I'm asking myself, do I want that for Kelly and Beth?" Of course, we'd be surprised if Liam ended up dying. But that doesn't mean that his girls wouldn't still be in for a helluva trauma. If along with the extreme treatment, he undergoes an extreme attitude adjustment, they as well as Steffi and Hope might not even recognize him anymore. Check out the new photo gallery below for a rundown of all the possible best and worst-case scenarios for Liam. After weeks of emotional upheaval at Forrester Creations, the storyline takes a dramatic turn as Daphne Rose, originally brought in by Steffi to destabilize the bond between Hope and Carter, decides to walk away, leaving more than just broken hearts behind. What began as a calculated ploy soon evolved into something deeply personal. Despite her original mission, Daphne found herself unexpectedly falling for Carter. But her feelings were not returned. Struggling with his own emotional turmoil over Hope and Liam's situation, Carter gently but firmly rejected Daphne. "I care about you, but I can't lie to myself," he told her, confessing that his heart still belonged to Hope. This emotional rejection pushed Daphne to a breaking point. Realizing she could no longer endure the pain of watching Carter remain emotionally tethered to another woman, she made a bold move, resigning from Forrester Creations and booking a flight back to Paris. Steffi was stunned by Daphne's abrupt decision. "You're just walking away?" she asked, struggling to grasp the sudden turn of events. Daphne, composed yet weary, responded, "I came here thinking I could change everything, but all I've done is lose a piece of myself. I can't stay here and keep bleeding." Before departing, Daphne requested a final private meeting with Steffi at the Cliff House. There, she revealed a life-altering secret. She is Eric Forrester's daughter. The revelation hit Steffi like a thunderbolt. At first, she couldn't believe it. But Daphne backed her claim with undeniable proof: a DNA test she had quietly taken after arriving in Los Angeles. According to Daphne, Eric had a brief relationship with her mother years ago. He never knew about the pregnancy, and Daphne had never intended to reveal the truth. "I still don't know if I ever will," she confessed. Now burdened with this explosive information, Steffi faces an impossible choice. As Daphne quietly begs her to keep the secret, Eric doesn't need more pain. Steffi is left reeling. Caught between loyalty to a friend and duty to her family, she must decide whether to respect Daphne's wish for silence or tell Eric the truth about the daughter he never knew existed. As Daphne boards her flight, leaving behind a city full of secrets and unresolved emotions, one question remains: will Steffi honor her plea or reveal everything? Don Diamond took to social media to spread the news about his son Anton's graduation from college, and his words couldn't have been more loving. Don Diamond has had a lot to celebrate lately. Being on The Bold and The Beautiful for 16 years was a major milestone. An even bigger one was his 40 years working for CBS since he began on the network, appearing on The Young and the Restless from 1985 to 2009. Now he's got more to be joyous about because his son graduated from college, making his soap star dad proud. The University of Las Vegas held 3 graduation ceremonies on May 16 and 17, because the total number of students attending was around 3,500. Among them was Diamond's son, Anton Ambule, and the proud papa took to Instagram to write, @Anton_Ambule couldn't have made more of his football scholarship. With blood, sweat, and tears, he, as the starting left tackle, and his at UML football teammates went from a 2-win first season to a record-setting 11-win season his senior year. Diamond continued, add to that an LA Bowl victory, and ending the year as the 24th-ranked team in the country. The first time that UNLV football was ranked in the top 25. Anton was no less committed in the classroom as a Dean's List student in business finance. Tanker, I couldn't be prouder of all that you've accomplished. It was such a joy to be along for the ride. In the post, Diamond shared several pictures, including one of the entire family with the happy graduates standing in front of UNLV with the title, "And that's a wrap." Next was a video of Anton going up to receive his diploma, throwing his arm in the air in victory. There were also a few pics from Anton's football season, pics from Anton's poolside graduation party, and a video of the graduates cheering at the end of the ceremony. Diamond's former Y and R co-star, Laura Lee Bell, replied with, while General Hospital star Eva LaRue commented, "So awesome, congratulations. Love you guys so much." The fans sent mountains of congratulations, with one ironically responding, @Don Diamond, congratulations to your son on his hard work and dedication. My daughter graduated UNLV that same morning. Couldn't be more proud of all the graduates. Will Steffi throw her marriage away for a dying man? They say old habits die hard, and for Steffi and Liam, they never really died at all. If everyone is right, Fan Believe Bold and The Beautiful is in for a jaw-dropping twist if all these whispers of secret meetings, late-night confessions, and stolen kisses are true. Viewers have sparked up a wildfire speculation. Is steam back on? Without Finn knowing, it all starts innocently enough. A few heartfelt chats between co-parents turned into soul-bearing late-night talks. Add Liam's terminal diagnosis into the mix, and suddenly, Steffi's world is shaken. As much as she loves Finn, she can't ignore the deep history she shares with Liam. The love, the pain, the unfinished business. And now, the passion. While Dr. Finnegan is busy saving lives, he has no clue his own marriage is under threat. Steffi's guilt is mounting, but her connection with Liam is undeniable. The thought of losing him forever has awakened something primal, and in true Soot fashion, their reunion is the kind that starts with a single tear and ends in a tangled bedsheet. But what happens when the truth comes out? When Finn discovers that the woman he thought was forever faithful has been falling back into old patterns behind his back. It's not just a betrayal, it's a full-on emotional earthquake. Not just for Finn, but for the children, the Forresters, the Spencers, everyone. This scandal isn't just about two exes rekindling a flame. It's about love, mortality, and the kind of heartbreak only soaps can deliver. If this truly is Liam's final chapter, he may very well plan to spend it wrapped up in the arms of the woman who once had his heart, and might still. A seismic shift has struck Forrester Creations in the bold and the beautiful, transforming the fashion powerhouse into a battlefield of betrayal, legacy, and blood. Eric Forrester's abrupt retirement initially seemed like the peaceful closure to an era. Instead, it ignited one of the most vicious internal wars in the company's history. The turmoil began when Daphne Rose, a once overlooked perfumer, revealed she is Eric Forrester's biological daughter. Backed by a DNA test and legal documentation, Daphne asserted her right to not only the family name, but also to a significant share of the Forrester empire. Her claim undermined Ridge Forrester's perceived inheritance and sent shockwaves throughout the company. Ridge vehemently rejected her, seeing her as an opportunist rather than family. Steffi backed her father, viewing Daphne as a deceptive intruder. In contrast, Thomas became conflicted, intrigued by the potential of Daphne's vision for the company. As alliances crumbled, the siblings turned against each other, and Eric struggled to hold his legacy together. Daphne's intentions quickly escalated. She pursued legal recognition, demanded a seat on the board, and proposed to restructure the company around her leadership. Behind her composed exterior was an aggressive strategy for complete control. With Ridge as interim CEO, Daphne moved to unseat him, triggering fierce resistance from Steffi and cautious deliberation from Thomas. In a dramatic board meeting, Daphne laid out her business plan, including dissolving the co-leadership model. Eric ultimately confirmed her paternity publicly, a declaration that irrevocably altered the company's power structure. Daphne's rise led to widespread instability. Hope Logan's fashion line was shelved, and her relationship with Carter Walton, the company's legal officer, came under pressure. Carter found himself torn between personal loyalty and professional duty. Steffi aligned with Bill Spencer to discredit Daphne, while others like Zend and Elektra began to support her. Even Liam Spencer took an interest when Daphne proposed a menswear line in his honor. Internal divisions deepened. Carter resigned, Steffi took a leave of absence, Ridge began pursuing international investors, and Thomas remained non-committal. Meanwhile, Daphne moved into Eric's office and began reshaping the company. The situation reached a tragic climax on the morning of the Forrester Legacy Gala. Daphne was found dead in her office by Eric, her body surrounded by broken glass and blood. An investigation revealed blunt force trauma with no signs of a struggle, an execution-style murder. Suspicions spread quickly. Ridge had a recent altercation with Daphne and was seen at the office the night before, though security footage was mysteriously missing. Steffi's gloves, stained with blood, were found near the scene. Thomas lacked an alibi for part of the evening, and Hope's secret emails to Ridge hinted at a coup. Carter's fingerprints were on a broken perfume bottle, and even Bill's prior involvement in digging into Daphne's past raised questions. A hidden recording captured an argument on the night of Daphne's death, ending with the sound of shattering glass and a thud, yet the video was partially corrupted. Daphne's autopsy confirmed the violence of the attack, and Eric was left to mourn a daughter he had only just accepted. In the days that followed, chaos reigned. Forrester Creations halted operations, investors fled, and public perception plummeted. A flash drive discovered in Daphne's office revealed she had been investigating her siblings, compiling damning financial records and surveillance materials. Before her death, Daphne amended her will, naming Thomas as her sole heir, a move that raised questions about her motivations and his involvement. As funeral plans unfold and the investigation intensifies, one thing is clear. Forrester Creations is no longer defined by fashion, but by secrets, ambition, and deadly rivalries. In a dramatic turn of events on The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer reveals a long-held secret that alters the emotional landscape for those closest to him. As he confronts a terminal illness, Liam confesses to Steffi Forrester that Beth, the daughter he shares with Hope Logan, is not biologically his. The truth surfaces during a private conversation between Liam and Steffi, who notices his growing distance from Beth, a stark contrast to his usual role as a devoted father. This emotional detachment prompts Steffi to question him, and Liam finally discloses that he secretly conducted a DNA test after harboring doubts about Hope's pregnancy timeline. The results confirmed his fears. Beth is not his biological child. This revelation profoundly impacts Liam. The cherished father-daughter moments he shared with Beth now feel like a painful illusion. Unable to reconcile the emotional weight, Liam chose to withdraw, avoiding contact with Beth rather than facing the heartbreak of their altered relationship during his final days. Steffi, stunned but compassionate, urges Liam to prioritize Beth's emotional well-being. She reminds him that while DNA may determine biology, love and presence define fatherhood. Encouraged by Steffi's words, Liam decides to see Beth one last time. The visit is bittersweet, filled with joy for Beth, but masked with grief for Liam. He doesn't reveal the truth to her, choosing instead to give her the gift of undivided love. Meanwhile, Steffi confronts Hope, revealing that she knows about the DNA test and accusing her of manipulation and deceit. Hope admits that fear drove her silence, fear of losing Liam, of breaking their family. She confesses that once the truth became clear, it felt too late to come clean without causing irreparable damage. Steffi, however, sees this as a selfish choice that robbed Liam of emotional clarity in his final days. This explosive revelation fractures the already delicate relationship between Steffi and Hope, reigniting tensions and setting the stage for more fallout. Yet, amid the turmoil, Liam's dying wish emerges, a hope for peace between Steffi and Hope for the sake of their daughters, Kelly and Beth. Motivated by Liam's vulnerability, the two women attempt to put aside their differences. Their reconciliation, though tentative, is symbolized by Steffi's unexpected decision to invite Hope back to Forrester Creations, a move aimed at healing old wounds and restoring unity. This act of goodwill opens the door to collaboration, though it also invites internal conflict. Daphne, Steffi's longtime ally, reacts negatively to this shift. Once tasked with keeping Hope away, Daphne now views Steffi's olive branch as a betrayal. Her disdain for Hope is rooted in old grievances and complicated by personal motives, including unspoken feelings for Carter Walton, who remains emotionally tethered to Hope. As tensions mount, a confrontation between Daphne and Steffi seems inevitable. Daphne questions the integrity of Hope's return and challenges Steffi's newfound commitment to peace. Their once solid friendship teeters on collapse, threatening to add another emotional casualty to an already volatile situation. Feeling sidelined both personally and professionally, Daphne contemplates a drastic move, leaving Los Angeles for Paris. This potential departure signals more than an escape. It marks a symbolic retreat from a life where loyalty, ambition, and heartbreak collide. Back in Leah, the impact of Liam's confession lingers. While Beth remains unaware of her true parentage, the truth looms close to the surface. As Liam's health declines and the emotional stakes rise, the secret threatens to engulf everyone involved, Hope, Steffi, and beyond. After weeks of emotional turmoil and uncertainty, Hope Logan and Carter Walton seemed on the brink of a renewed connection. Despite past secrecy and pain, their bond was beginning to heal, strengthened by shared hardship, particularly following Liam's health scare and Steffi's unexpected support for Hope's return to Forrester. Even Daphne, who had long tried to come between them, appeared to accept defeat and prepared to leave Los Angeles for Paris. As Daphne packed her bags, she acknowledged to Steffi that her efforts to win Carter's heart had failed. With a quiet sense of resignation, she declared, "I can't keep chasing something that's never going to be mine." Hope, unaware of what was about to unfold, even offered Daphne well wishes, relieved that some tension was finally easing. But just before leaving town, Daphne requested a private meeting with Hope. What began as a calm and seemingly respectful farewell quickly turned into a dramatic confrontation. Daphne's tone shifted as she looked Hope in the eye and confessed something unexpected. "When I stayed at Carter's, we didn't just talk." Hope, stunned, tried to process the claim. Daphne explained that Carter had initially tried to resist, but ultimately gave in. The revelation hit hard, triggering a flood of memories. Carter's distracted behavior that morning, the unexplained video call where he appeared shirtless, brushing it all off casually. In that moment, those details gained a troubling new context. Though Hope tried to deny it, accusing Daphne of lying, Daphne stood firm. "You deserve to know before you tie yourself to someone who's not telling you the whole truth," she said, before walking away and leaving Hope in silence. Later, Hope confronted Carter, who immediately sensed something was wrong. When she told him what Daphne had revealed, Carter confirmed the truth. He admitted that he never intended for it to happen and had regretted it ever since. But the damage was done. Hope, devastated, felt betrayed, not just by the act itself, but by the concealment. "You let me walk back into your arms, not knowing the truth," she said, her voice shaking. Carter attempted to explain, saying he feared he had already lost her and didn't want to lose the second chance they were rebuilding. But for Hope, the betrayal was too fresh. She walked out, questioning everything again, unsure if they could ever move forward. A seismic shift is coming to the bold and the beautiful, as a deeply buried secret threatens to upend the lives of the Forrester and Finnegan families once again. Just when viewers thought Poppy's reveal that Luna is Finn's biological daughter was the peak of her revelations, an even more shocking truth emerges. Luna has a twin sister. 2 decades ago, before Poppy arrived in Los Angeles, she secretly gave birth to twin daughters. Luna remained by her side, raised under her guidance, while her twin sister, Ella, was given up for adoption at birth, an event Poppy kept hidden all these years. Luna, known for her emotional volatility and recent release from prison, is now spiraling, her resentment toward her mother only intensifying. Grappling with guilt and fearing for Luna's mental state, Poppy begins a desperate search for Isla, eventually locating her daughter living a successful, grounded life in another world. Isla has grown into a compassionate, emotionally balanced adult, with a promising career as an avant-garde fashion designer. When Poppy contacts her, Isla, curious about her origins, agrees to travel to Los Angeles. Her arrival sets off a cascade of emotional responses. Finn feels an instant connection with Isla, and Steffi is quickly impressed by her poise and fashion talent. Recognizing her potential, Steffi offers Isla a position at Forrester Creations, eager to inject fresh creativity into the fashion house. However, not everyone is celebrating. Luna's reaction to Isla is one of devastation and rage. Seeing her twin, successful, beloved, and seemingly perfect, triggers a storm of jealousy. Luna perceives Isla as having everything she was denied: a stable upbringing, a clean record, and now, affection from the very people who kept Luna at a distance. Finn and Steffi, who struggled to connect with Luna, are immediately charmed by Isla. Determined not to be overshadowed, Luna begins to plot. She subtly sabotages Isla's integration into the company, manipulates those around her, and digs into Isla's past, hoping to uncover flaws she can exploit. What complicates this emotional drama is the shared ancestry both sisters carry. Luna and Isla are not just Poppy and Finn's children. They're also the granddaughters of the infamous Sheila Carter. While Luna already exhibits signs of instability and manipulation, the big question becomes, could Isla harbor the same dangerous tendencies beneath her composed exterior? As Luna intensifies her campaign against her sister, Isla begins to feel the pressure. What started as a hopeful family reunion risks devolving into another chapter in the Carter family legacy of chaos. The possibility that Isla could snap, tapping into her darker heritage, becomes increasingly real. This twin revelation pulls every key character into the fallout. Finn is torn between two daughters. Poppy is consumed with remorse. Steffi tries to balance compassion with corporate responsibility. And as Hope, Brooke, and Ridge start noticing the growing tension, it becomes clear this is no ordinary sibling rivalry. It's a volatile blood feud in the making. With the Forresters facing the potential consequences of a genetic legacy marked by destruction, the stage is set for an explosive future. Will Luna's jealousy destroy her, or will Isla's darker instincts emerge under pressure? Either outcome could change the Forrester family forever. In parallel to this new era of family conflict, the memory of Stephanie Douglas Forrester continues to cast a long shadow over the bold and the beautiful. A pillar of strength, manipulation, and fierce loyalty, Stephanie's absence is still felt deeply in the Forrester family saga. Played by Susan Flannery, Stephanie's departure in 2012 after a courageous battle with cancer marked the end of an era. Her complex relationships, especially with Brooke Logan and her children, were central to the show's emotional core. Today's storylines, though rich in drama, often lack the magnetic tension Stephanie embodied. Fans have long speculated about a possible return. Soap operas are no strangers to miraculous revivals, and a creative storyline could plausibly reintroduce Stephanie, perhaps hidden away in a European clinic by her daughter Felicia, echoing past plots. Such a twist would not only honor her legacy but reinvigorate the show's emotional depth and dramatic intensity. Of course, the major hurdle is Susan Flannery's retirement. Her unmatched portrayal of Stephanie makes recasting a sensitive, controversial prospect. Yet, if done thoughtfully, with a seasoned actress capable of channeling Stephanie's commanding presence, it could be the spark the series needs.